All right, welcome in for a shorter version of the Wrestler's Dozen, where we're going to rank the top 6 Kofi Kingston matches, since it is his birthday as the release date. Most people won't be watching this on the release date, so it was Kofi's birthday when this came out. We swear. Happy birthday, Kofi.
Yes, 5 days after me.
I know Kofi's going to be watching this.
Yes.
And going crazy about how terrible our list is. But just really quickly, we do have some caveats because, of course, Kofi is really known in Money in the Bank matches for having crazy spots.
Yeah.
Obviously, he is the Royal Rumble escape artist. None of those matches are going to count for this list because, obviously, we're going to have Royal Rumble lists that he's going to be on and ladder matches and Money in the Bank. So... and also no New Day matches. They're going to have their own list as well, of course. So we wanted to really spotlight just Kofi Kingston as a singles competitor as he has been this year. And we are recording this before SummerSlam. So if he has an awesome match last week at SummerSlam, it's not going to make this list because we're recording early.
Yeah. We saved room for the Samoa Joe match, but spoiler alert, not quite.
That one didn't go well. Hopefully SummerSlam, which as of recording it looks like it's going to be Orton. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's probably not Orton, and now I look stupid. All right, so let's just get going with it, and we're going to go with a Monday Night Raw match. And actually, you're going to notice a lot of early Kofi matches were not pay-per-view.
Yeah.
He killed it on free TV. Versus Dolph Ziggler on Monday Night Raw, September 24th, 2012. It went 10 minutes and 30 seconds. Meltzer gave it 3.5 stars. This was the Vicky Guerrero era with Ziggler. I want to say is this the one she gets kicked out of?
Yeah.
Right out the bat, and R-Truth had something to do. It was...
Yeah, R-Truth had little Jimmy.
Yeah, oh God, I miss little Jimmy. I miss little Jimmy.
Don't we all?
Fantastic Raw match. Something I'm hoping is starting to change.
Yeah.
With Raw and SmackDown, we get longer matches that don't love ads so much. What do you think of it?
Yeah, because I'm a bigger fan of Dolph than you are. But
That's true.
This was right after he won the Money in the Bank also, which I think that year, up until he cashed it, was his best. And his character actually fit, and it wasn't worn out yet, because it's been, 6 years now? 7? Yeah, and it hasn't changed. So, but it was refreshing back then, and it was like when the IC title would rock the show, or Kofi matches would just start the show hot, and this match did it.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not a big Dolph guy. I just wish he would change his character up a little bit and his style. He works extremely hard in the ring. Don't get me wrong. I'm just some jabroni that's way out of shape and a giant nerd with a game collection.
Yeah.
This dude could run circles around me. It's gotten a little old, and the whole, I steal the show gimmick kind of runs its course when you don't have a character. To me, professional wrestling's all about characters.
And you stop stealing the show.
No, then it just goes away. So, number 1 so far. Easy. All right, now to 2 matches that surprised the hell out of me, just because when I tell you where it was on, you're just going to go, yeah, right. But the first one here, October 16th, 2012, against The Miz on Main Event, which is now like a Velocity anymore. It's the F show. But back then, when they first started the Main Event, I loved how they set it up, where the whole first half of the show was giving 2 guys a bunch of time to really display their talents, and then you kind of get into the nobody's just trying to get some TV time.
Justin Gabriel's.
Yeah, so no rating on this match, but it does go 19 minutes and 41 seconds. Again, they gave him plenty of time. A lot of psychology in this match. Fantastic. Again, if Main Event was doing this on the network, I'd watch it every week.
Yeah. I watched it live when it happened because I just happened to be home and was like, oh, they're starting a show on Ion. I was like, hey, I have that channel. And watched it, and I was like, this is seriously The Miz and Kofi. They're tearing it down. And loved the match, and if it weren't for the network, I obviously would have seen it again, but yeah, it was outstanding.
Yeah, and the psychology in it, I just remembered this was a week after Kofi hit the Trouble in Paradise and put the giant knot on the Miz's face.
Oh, yeah.
So they played into that where the Miz was completely terrified of anything coming near it. By the way, the Miz is a beast. I know he's getting more credit lately about being a good worker. Dude's fantastic. I have it over Dolph. I don't know about you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. For sure.
Another main event, which happens a year later, so the show has started to change a little bit. No time on this one, but Meltzer does give it 3 3/4 stars against Cesaro. And this was one of the many times that they were pushing Cesaro as being a beast in the ring.
Yeah.
Had no character at all. I think him teaming with Sheamus has really opened Cesaro up, at least character-wise. But God, that guy can go. And him and Kofi, you've seen it in every Bar versus New Day match. They're fantastic. I'd love to see them feud again at some point. Another fantastic match. And again, I don't have a time for this match, but I want to say it went at least 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Lots of time, lots of great spots. Just great match.
Yeah, because Cesaro, like for years now, it's like, oh, did you see this match by Cesaro against such and such? No. Well, you need to.
Yes.
So like this one, and obviously Cesaro against Zayn and NXT. Yeah, those were good too, but it's just like Cesaro's the guy that can put on a great match, just like Kofi is. Like, you put Kofi in, he would get Jericho over, or obviously like Dolph at times too, or somebody's like, good match, put him in, and they got to showcase it together.
Yeah,
and it was great.
I know a lot of people think Cesaro needs a main event push. I think they're using Cesaro perfectly right now as that enhancement kind of talent. All right, we have Andrade finally facing somebody. Put him out against Cesaro. Cesaro's going to make him look like $1 million. He's going to get some TV time, and he's going to get a young talent over, and it's great.
Yes.
All right, so then we skip way ahead, because obviously he kind of Kofi in his singles career flounders a bit. They're not really pushing him that much. He's not on TV a lot. Creates the New Day, and then you just don't see singles competition for Kofi for a long time. Until this year.
You turn to Kane, where it's like, oh, it's the mystery partner, Kofi. Oh.
Right. So, we're going to start with the big three here in 2019 with the Gauntlet match, which, of course, he comes in after the Ali injury, and crazy stuff happens after that. In the Gauntlet match is Daniel Bryan, who's the champion at the time, Jeff Hardy, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Randy Orton. Of course, this was the winner got the last pod to open in the Elimination Chamber. It went like 65 minutes or some crazy thing like that. Kofi and Bryan start the match, and I think once Kofi beats Bryan, you start realizing, okay, this is gonna be fun. Couple good situations with Hardy and Joe. I like the spot where Joe's just toying with him, and he gets the roll up, which is a surprise to him. Then Styles does beat Kofi before Randy Orton hits the RKO out of nowhere, so he can come in last. But this match shows up on a Kofi list because Kofi was in 98% of the match.
Yeah.
And I think it's this performance that got the crowd behind him and turned that run in.
Yeah, because obviously he sold a whole lot in the match. He's not going to dominate for an hour and just did Trouble in Paradise left and right. So he's always been able to sell. He sold a lot, made it believable, and if you don't know how to sell, the crowd won't give a crap. And they gave a lot of crap in this one because they got way behind him. And it was great to see. You could just feel it. Because I didn't watch it live, but I read about it and said, even if you didn't see it live, you'll get caught up into it. And for sure did.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like an hour.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And especially for him to be in it that long is fantastic. Okay, ranking-wise, though, I love these main event matches.
Yeah. Do
we put the Gauntlet match behind both?
I think it's above Miz, below Cesaro.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
The Cesaro match is just so good. Especially for, again, main event was changing by 2013 where it wasn't the same formula. I think, obviously, they got a lot of time, so it was still slightly in that format, but it was definitely different. So then we move a few days later, Elimination Chamber, those 6 same competitors, Bryan, Joe, AJ, Orton, Jeff Hardy, and Kofi Goes 36 minutes and 35 seconds. Gets 4.5 stars. One of the better Elimination Chamber matches. It's probably going to end up on a best of chamber list by us. But for this list, to me, Kofi doesn't start the match. I want to say he's fourth.
Yeah.
He's either third or fourth in. Has a fantastic run. Has a lot of false finishes with Bryan at the end, which really continued getting the crowd going. We want to see Kofi win this championship, which I'm sorry. I know a lot of people threw fits about, oh, they're making Kofi run through hoops and they give Charlotte the title. Of course. That's how the storylines work. And I love the fact that Daniel Bryan did the complete 180 of his character for WrestleMania 30 and kept using the same phrases that he heard in the B+ player and stuff. Fantastic chamber match, but for a Kofi list, I think it's behind the main events.
I think so too, actually, because I remember watching it. Obviously, loved the gauntlet match, but then I was like, oh, Kofi will probably be the first, second eliminator, like always. Then it got down to him and Bryan last, and I was like, oh, this should be fun. And they had me believing that Kofi was going to win, and it was great. But obviously, for a 35-minute match, the last 10 minutes are the ones that was legit. Is why I think it stays below the main event matches.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I felt the same way with the chamber. I thought with Kofi lasting an hour in SmackDown, they had booked it that way because he was going to be the afterthought. He was the add-on to the chamber. And again, I would guess that his performance changed some things for the chamber. Great match.
Yes.
Which led to, it's number one.
Yes.
It's without a doubt. Obviously, WrestleMania 35 against Daniel Bryan. 23 minutes, 44 seconds, gets 4.5 stars. The build-up to the match was pretty good. I'm not going to take anything away from the women. I think they earned the main event spot with the story that they built. But this one delivered better than the Becky Lynch coronation, I think, at WrestleMania 35. I do have a little bit of an issue with Big E bringing out the present before the match. Like, when you win, you're getting the new shirt that has your championship on it. I think they could have held that out. But even then, I mean, I think we all at that point knew that they were going to have to put the title on Kofi. Anything else, they were going to get a lot of rioting on the Raw after, even if he lost the title the next Monday. They needed the
Sheamus Daniel Bryan style.
Yeah, they needed the good moment. But the match itself was fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you have two great competitors in there. The emotion in it, of course, Xavier Woods, like, legit crying at the end of it, and backstage, like, it's 11 years culmination, and it was fantastic.
Oh, yeah. This is, like, one of the reasons why you watch wrestling, because people are like, oh, you watch wrestling, it's fake. Because, like, people cry during soap operas and during movies.
Yeah.
It's like, I forgot that Die Hard was real, and he'd really kill people in it, and all this. Yeah. You just get caught up in the characters, the stories. You want to believe this guy wants to beat this guy, and he's better than him, and the story you get there. 11 years, you just get caught up in it, and you can feel the emotion, and that's one of the reasons I watch wrestling, is that match. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's wrestling.
And if you watch a lot of our stuff as things go on, you're going to learn I'm not an indie guy. Partially because there's so much out there. Doof keeps telling me about all these different wrestlers. There's too much.
Yeah.
Obviously, AEW is going to start getting their weekly show. I'll definitely be checking that out. I want to see good wrestling. I want to see it all the time. But as you said, it's the storylines. It's the way they tell the stories in the ring. There's a lot of people that go, oh, this match was fantastic. And I watch it and I go, it's just them doing 900 flips. They don't tell a story. It's just we have all these spots we want to do, and then we walk each other to the next spot. This was fantastic storytelling. Obviously, you had some great moves and all that in there, but it's just the way they built that whole match is fantastic.
Yes. And
I'm glad Kofi has been able to get that push. I know his title run hasn't been as great as we would hope. That's not on Kofi. It's just the kind of the state of wrestling right now, and that kind of influx of changing of the guard in a lot of aspects. But in ring, he's had a fantastic career.
Yeah,
for sure. So again, happy birthday, Kofi. There is our list. Of course, Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania #1. If you've not seen the Cesaro match on Main Event, look it up on the network. God, thank God for the WWE Network for this project.
September 10th, 2013.
And then, again, if you haven't seen The Miz, I want to say it was like the third main event ever. So it was pretty easy to find. October 16th, 2012. Fantastic matches. Hopefully, these won't be the top 6 forever. Hopefully, SummerSlam beat it. But until then, we will be back next week with another full-on top 12 list. So, for David and myself, guys have a good night.